Okay, we got a couple scratches on this moped we are going to correct out. We've got a little marring mark here right above the C3 logo. This one I can't really pick up very well with my camera. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then we have this guy right here. We are going to correct this before we apply a ceramic coating on this Yamaha C3, trying to keep it in good, clean condition, easy to maintain, and much easier to wash. Let's give it a go. Okay, pointed out some of the flaws I have on this side panel on this Yamaha C3. The purpose of me doing this is because I'm actually going to apply a ceramic coating that I think is one of the easier ceramic coatings to apply without having a ton of experience applying sealants or coatings. First thing I got to do though is I have to prepare this surface so that it will be ready and look good to receive the actual ceramic coating we're going to put on. So we've got a marring scratch here, we've got another one above the C3 logo, and then one just to the right hand side of the C3 logo. The paint's actually in pretty good shape. This is a base coat clear coat that is on this panel on this moped, but I'm going to go ahead and correct it. I do have the Rupes. This is the Hybrid Nano, their long neck. So let's go ahead and get this thing set up. This is their actual like little kit, but this is what I'm going to use to polish the areas that need some correction, and then we're actually going to get into applying the ceramic coating. If you want to grab any of these components and you're interested in doing some type of correction to your machines, vehicles, whatever it is that you're working on, I would highly recommend some of these products. Now, if you've done ceramic coatings or you're looking for something that's a little bit more advanced, the one that I'm going to use in this video is called One. It's by Geon. It is probably a 2-year long lasting, hydrophobic, easy to apply ceramic coating. You can put it on and wipe it off in the matter of 30 seconds. You can put it on, wipe it off in the matter of 2 minutes. It's kind of a preference thing. You can also do layers on it. But first, let's start with getting rid of these scratches. Now I'm using the Rupes. What is this? This is their yellow fine polishing compound. I wanted to say there was some other name with this, but so we're going to apply this to a foam pad here, kind of like prime the pad where I put some of the compound into the foam pad, and then just a couple dots so it looks like that. I'm going to probably run it on level setting 3. We're going to hit this area here. Now I'm going to go over and polish this whole panel with the Diamond Ultra Fine polishing compound. But first we got to try to remove some of the scratches, so I'm using a little bit more aggressive of a pad. If I have to, I could jump to a microfiber, which is a heavier cutting pad, and use a more aggressive compound. Let's see if we can make an improvement to this first with the lighter duty pad. Okay. Yep. So, didn't have to go very aggressive with it. I got rid of that marring. It wasn't a deep scratch. It was probably a scuff from something going along the side of this panel. So we're going to work on the scratch above the C3 and this scratch over here next. Okay, so these scratches were not significant. A lot of times you run into stuff where it takes several steps, several stages of correction to finally get it out of that scratch. But for the most part here, I think the damage is removed. I see there's a little bit more marring on the top of this, so I'm going to go ahead and hit that one more time, and then we're going to hit this whole panel in its preparation for the ultra fine polishing compound with a white pad, which is a finishing pad. Yeah, that took care of it. Now I'm just doing this section, guys. This is kind of my my dummy trial unit. I actually have some marring on the top of this panel. I'm going to choose a different product and a different step on how I actually prepare that. And I'm even going to coat it with a different product. This is just kind of my little dummy unit to show you guys how easy it can be to do some of this stuff. So let's go ahead and apply some of this compound. We're going to hit this whole panel. This is going to be the final preparation. Then we're actually going to use Geon's Prep. It is a oil and grease remover spray. We're going to spray this, wipe it down, and then we can actually apply the coating. It's not going to take a lot. This is a really nice panel, a really nice piece. So I'm not really too concerned about the swirl marks. The red doesn't show a whole lot. This isn't a black panel, so this under light is going to reflect all the metallic flakes in the paint. It's going to look like $1,000,000, so I'm not really too picky. I usually spend about, I don't know, 36 to 40 hours, depending on the paint correction required on a vehicle, and that's usually on something like a pickup. Will take that long, depending on the condition of the truck. Now, this microfiber I'm using here is just going to be trash. I'm just wiping all this stuff off. This has got to get taken and washed and used as a rag, especially if you're going to use a towel to apply the coating. But I just know that this is in rougher shape, this microfiber itself. So, okay, let's do prep, and then let's move on to actually applying the coating. I'm going to adjust my lighting so you guys can actually see the coating going on, and then you'll be able to see the difference in the gloss, the finish, and how the ceramic coating actually applies. Hopefully this video is helpful. Okay, there's our prep. We got a different microfiber towel now. I've got a whole box of these. That's kind of like the bummer part, is the expense of going through microfibers when you are doing actual ceramic coating. Because once you use a microfiber to remove a coating, it is done, because it's going to harden and you can't use it on paint again because you'll scratch the daylights out of your vehicle or machine or whatever it is that you're using. So, okay, so our panel is prepped. It's looking pretty good. Let's see if I can get you guys in a pattern here where I can show you. Okay, now we are just applying this ceramic coating to this panel piece right here. This is your ceramic coating. This is the economical Geon's ceramic coating version. Very easy to work with. This is your starter ceramic coating. So if you're going to give it a shot, I almost feel like if you're driving a car and it's getting used and abused, it's your daily driver, you want it to be easy to wash, you're going to maintain your vehicle, keep your paint nice. Let's say you're doing all that. What I would suggest you do is probably use this and re-ceramic coat your vehicle again in the future, because that is going to be a better step, in my opinion, to keeping your car looking fresh, good, new for the longest period of time possible, instead of putting on a more expensive ceramic coating that you know at the end of the day it's going to need to be serviced and recoated again. Now I'm making sure I'm applying this nice and liberally. Let me bring the camera in here so you can see. Can you guys see? There you go. So you can see here if I wipe down, like you can see that coating. Now it doesn't really bead and sweat like some coatings, because it is their version that you can use and you can kind of wait a little while before you remove the coating. It's not as impactful or important to watch for that sweat to happen, you know, where your coating actually beads apart. Okay, this is the panel that we're going to consider coated. So you're going to use a microfiber. I like a low nap microfiber for the removal. And you're going to take this. When you're done using this, this has to be a garage shop rag. It's got to be thrown away. We've let it sit. Now we're just lightly wiping, and it feels really slick, which is nice. So we've got a nice little wipe like this. Boom. We've leveled it. We're going to go back over with our higher nap, higher pile microfiber. Just make sure we don't have any high spots. We go through and we wipe like this, getting all the nooks and crannies, making sure nothing's built up, because you're going to make sure you want to level it as good as possible. If it does get left alone, you miss it, you forget, you're going to have a problem, because it is going to harden and cure that way. So here we go. It's been coated. We're going to let it cure. That is Geon's 1 applied. I think the paint looks good. There's great reflection. We obviously took care of some of the issues and scratches. That wasn't a big deal, but I mean, there is incredible reflection to that. Nice candy gloss look. Here is a comparison of a component now that has not been coated. Here we can see we've got marring. It's not very glossy. It doesn't look all that good, right? Now it's still clean, it still looks nice. But if we come over here, you get that nice deep candy shine. I think it looks great. It's going to perform well. This is going to be easier to wash. It's going to bead water. It's going to protect your paint, at least from UV rays and from chemicals. I think it protects from like pH 2 to 11. So this is good for keeping your vehicle in good shape, keeping it clean. You got that extra candy gloss looking finish. I'd highly recommend this stuff. Now, you got to have a lot of stuff to do it. If you wanted to, if you didn't want to correct your paint, let's say you just want to put on a ceramic coating, you're happy with the way your paint is. You're going to avoid any buffing compounds. You're going to wash your car super good. You're going to use an oil and grease remover like Geon Prep. You're going to buy a pack of microfibers. You're going to wipe off your car with the Geon Prep, getting rid of any contaminants in your paint. You're going to apply this in straight line strokes back and forth. Let it sit for at least 30 seconds. Wipe it off with your microfibers. Buff it down nice and smooth. Don't put a bunch of pressure on the paint, but make sure you even out your coating. And your car's coated. That's the real cheap, easy way to do it. That's my review, guys. My little tutorial, whatever I'm doing here, I don't even know. But I'm trying a couple different coatings on this moped. So that's what I'm doing. This panel here is Geon's 1.